Mayor, I too want to join in making some comments about thanks for the process of how we've gotten to this day today. First of all, I think it's important that all the council members would agree that those that have brought this issue to us, whether it's Faith and Justice or the labor community, and all the other social service organizations that have educated us on this issue, I want to thank them because I think they have done a great service to the city, and they've done a great service certainly to this council to educate us on the issues that surround wage disputes, wage theft, and all of those things that present themselves in a way that harm our workers in our communities. I think each and every one of us are committed to the ongoing work of continuing to educate the community about this issue. And I, for one, look forward to working with each of those groups and each of the council members in making sure that we continue to raise monies for that educational process, that we raise monies for making sure that appropriate amounts of attorneys and legal fees are taken care of. I also want to thank you, Mayor, and Councilmember Gonzalez for your leadership on this particular issue. The legal department taking an active role in listening and respectful dialogue among all the stakeholders. I think it's been important because I think that's one of the real Houston values that matter. And that as we tackle issues like this and other issues that come before us, the model that works in Houston, in my opinion, is we all sit down at the table, we listen to each other respectfully, and we come up with a game plan moving forward. And I just want to thank each and every one of the participants that have played a role in this discussion, and I look forward to supporting this ordinance. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Gray.
Thank you, Mayor. I think I'm going to echo my colleague and thank him as well as Attorney Feldman, the mayor, and Councilmember Gonzalez for working on this issue. Although many folks at this table weighed in, this is as basic as it gets. The Bible says the laborer is worthy of his hire, and taking people's wages is just something that should not be tolerated. I want to point out that it's not just about stiffing somebody on getting paid, somebody that comes and works in your yard or is part of your business. It's skimming as well. There's subtle ways to do it, and a lot of the violators may not get caught right away because they chip away rather than just have an obvious non-payment. But we aren't going to tolerate that in the city of Houston. We're a city where prosperity depends on getting up, working hard, and playing by the rules. And we reward that, but this we won't tolerate. So I just appreciate everyone that worked on this. Thank you all again. And I'm glad to have this be something I have an opportunity to work on. Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, first I want to thank you for your leadership and commitment to this issue and for engaging, obviously, and help us bring it all together. And perhaps first and foremost, I want to thank Attorney Feldman and the legal department. I know at times he took some shots over this, and he stayed committed. He kept working through the issues, try to meet with all parties, and try to come to a better understanding of everyone's concerns and try to craft something that worked for everyone. I want to thank everyone involved as well. Obviously, Faith and Justice for their advocacy for a very long time now, for staying committed to the cause and looking out for the city's most vulnerable, and also to the business community as well, for the member organizations that came forward, took time to meet, to discuss, to work through the issues. They never said no. It was always just trying to work through some concerns and issues because they too had a commitment to try to make sure that we could weed out those that were truly taking advantage of those that had worked and earned their wages. At the end of the day, there needs to be a level playing field. Anyone doing business with the city, we don't want you lowballing contracts and then you don't pay your workers and you get an unfair competitive advantage over another potential contractor that does pay their workers fairly. And at the end of the day, this is about a crime. Someone did get paid wages that were owed to them, and it doesn't solve every single scenario out there, or every single situation. There's still processes in place that need to handle that via the Texas Workforce Commission or the criminal process. But now the city can engage in particular with those that do business with the city, and we send a strong message that we will not do business with those that are unfairly and knowingly and willingly stealing wages from those employees that have earned them. And so, very proud to have worked on this. I want to thank Councilmember Lasher as well for helping make this better. And my colleagues for engaging, a lot of them that were supportive up front, others that were willing to listen to try to make sure we crafted something that worked for our city and was fair, and that at the same time considered all viewpoints. And so we think we've crafted something that works, and I look forward to supporting. And I encourage my colleagues to do the same. Thank you very much for considering this issue.
Councilmember Pennington.
Thank you, Mayor. Thanks to all of you who've been mentioned who were involved in this. I was not, so I was playing catch up a little bit at the public session yesterday and also since then. And thanks to Mr. Feldman for spending time with me to explain it. I'm against any regulation duplicating at the local level regulations, that are promulgated or passed by the state and enforced by the state. But I don't think that this ordinance does that, so I'm going to be in support of it. What it does is, if there is a state adjudication by the Texas Workforce Commission after the effective date of this ordinance, then certain licenses will not be available to those people who are guilty of a criminal violation. And the second thing that it does is offer an opportunity for direct contractors or employees of direct contractors with the city to bring their grievances to the city, and to have the OIG and the legal department review those and either reject them or to send them on to the state for adjudication. So, and it does not hold contractors liable for activities by a subcontractor. So the criterion that I had set up for the support of this ordinance, I think, have been passed. We don't have a bureaucracy. We don't have a fact situation where allegations can create a trail over somebody's legitimate business. So I think it's a worthy issue. I probably would like to have seen more statistics about what the actual problem is, but I think with all the people who qualified people, credible people who've appeared here over the last several months, that there is a problem, and it does affect the people who are most vulnerable. So based on what I've said here, I will be supporting the ordinance. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Burks.
Thank you, Mayor.